And we are live. Hello, I'm Arvin.
And I'm Julie.
Welcome back. We missed you guys last week. Julie and the gang was busy at Quilt Market. And for those of you who were able to see us there, I'm sure you loved everything you saw, all the new kits, all the new fabrics. So thank you for stopping by.
We did do a live.
Yes.
Yeah, we did
They did a live, not the live that we had.
Yeah, we did a live on Saturday from Quilt Market, and we showed you the new kits and a couple other little things along the way. A coat that we had there that was just so magnificent. I want that coat so bad.
That was beautiful.
Oh gosh, in person it was just crazy beautiful.
Hello everyone.
Hi, minky buddies. That's cute. We also, I know some of you thought we probably were going to be live from festival today, but we're actually back at the office, all of the gang that went except for Teresa, who's there teaching classes and in someone else's booth there. So hi everyone, thanks for joining us.
Hello everyone.
Don't forget to share.
Yes, please share for your chance to win. We're going to give away one cuddle blanket today at the end of the show. Actually, one on YouTube and one on Facebook, right? So Jeremy's behind the camera today with us again, and we've got Hawk behind the scenes. Thank you everyone for your help.
Hey Pamela, my
hello
favorite
Carrie.
proofreader.
Hello Shelly. So please share. Hello Del Marie. Hello Lori.
Hi you guys. I'm so happy everybody's joining.
Hello
it's
Leslie.
Moving kind of quick right now, so a lot of people are getting on. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Welcome. Hello, Deb. Hello, Debbie.
A couple more get on yet.
We'll give it a couple of minutes. We'll let people jump on. Hello, Michelle.
I have to tell you guys, it was really fun going to Quilt Market after 3 years. This is our
God,
first one.
2019 was the last one,
right?
In
fall.
October.
It's exactly 3 years. I kept saying it's kind of like going to a class reunion. You know, that you keep seeing everyone that you haven't seen in so long. And I said I've had more bear hugs in the last in 24 hours. The first 24 hours than I had probably in 2 years. And people are so excited to see each other and just be together again. And
I'm sad I couldn't make it. I had a couple of family commitments, some events that we had committed to prior.
We definitely missed you.
Yeah, I missed being there. I missed seeing everyone who was there and you know, kind of catching up with the other vendors in the room, which is kind of one of the delights of Quilt Market, is catching up with the other guys in the industry and seeing what's going on. But
I know who you are, Jansen.
Hopefully we'll see you guys next time at the next market. Hello, Nancy.
I see you posting all the time on that group, Jansen.
Hello, Melinda.
Hey, hi, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Michelle, we had some rain yesterday, which is kind of unusual for LA, but my God, there's a little cold wind, rain coming through, and I had to pull out a jacket for the first time this year.
We think we've stepped into the middle of deep winter here because it's only going to be 65 degrees or something today.
60, 65.
Yeah, the sun's still out, but it's cold, and it was 47 this morning when I got up. 47 here is like winter.
Yeah, that is cold here. So I think we've got enough people hopped on. We're going to get started, and we're going to do what we promised you a couple of weeks ago. There's been a little change in the products that we're going to showcase today. So instead of Florence, we're going to do Tuscany, and we're going to do the bunny. We have all the colors of bunny. I know we've shown you a sneak peek on bunny, but we have all the colors, and I think it's beautiful. And then we're actually going to start with the pile height, difference that we're going to show you guys today, starting with like Cuddle 3, which is 3 millimeters, and then go through the entire kind of different pile heights of product that we carry. And just to give, for those of you who don't know the differences and just don't know what pile height different items are. And so I think it'll be a fun start, and then we'll get into the product preview. So without further ado, we're going to start with our...
Arvin, somebody just said they thought that maybe sharing was disabled. So I don't know if that's true on the...
They're trying to share, I think, from one of our groups, like I Love Cuddle. I think it might be disabled, but make sure you go to our Shannon page and share from there.
Okay, did everybody understand that to go ahead and share from our Shannon page?
Yes, so, hop on the Shannon page so you could share it, because that's where the live is happening.
Yeah.
All right,
Valerie.
So There we go. We're gonna start. This is our Cuddle 3, which is what started it all in the Cuddle world. As I mentioned to you guys last time, we started with 6 or 7 colors in the Cuddle 3 and Cuddle Dimple. The Cuddle Dimple is essentially exactly the same thing. It's 3 millimeters. It's got a a nice nap, and it brushes back and forth really nice. And so the Cuddle Dimple is just an embossed variation of that, where they put the little dimples in it from the back heat set. It is just slightly more stretchy because of the dimples, but it's still the same consistency and the same exact product. So that's the lowest pile product that we carry.
Plus we do this in the C390, which is our 88 to 90 inch wide that people love so much for the backs. We also make a lot of stuffed animals out of it, or projects where you have a lot of details that you need to see the small little faces, or you need to see, little details that makes it a little easier to sew. Plus, it's one of the ones that wears like iron. People have blankets out of it for 10, 15 years that look exactly the same because it handles the heat a little bit more. It handles just some things differently than some of the longer piles that are more delicate.
And so there's about I think a little over 100 or under 100 colors of Cuddle 3 and about 70 colors of Cuddle Dimple.
I think it's 121 in
121
solids.
in the solids?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yep.
And then, of course, all of our prints. So this is the buffalo check, which is what? The #1 selling print?
Still
#2 selling print?
#1. It stayed #1. Even when we were out of stock for a minute with it, it was still stayed #1.
So this is just all of our Cuddle prints, whether they are, well, actually, we should say the digitals are 2.5 millimeters. So they're slightly lower pile than the Cuddle 3 and the other prints because of the, we print some real elaborate prints on those, and we want the colors to be as crisp as possible and the quality to be as nice as possible. So the prints are done on 2.5 millimeter or 3 millimeter, and it's the same grade, it's the same quality, and it's the same beautiful soft fabric that you've all have learned to love over the years.
Yes.
And really, it's one of the bigger drivers, the Cuddle 3 C390 and the prints of our business.
Thanks, Amanda.
And then we have a couple of embossed products like the hearts, and there might be a couple of stars.
There's an arrow or two.
Yes.
Still. There aren't too many of these, but we thought we would throw it in there so you could see. These were one of the very first embossings that we ever did in the early days when we were just learning about how to do this on emboss. We're going to focus for a second here, but they're the lower pile, but they're wonderful for little baby blankets and little add-ons and doing sweet little things. If you made a little stuffed heart and used the heart on it, it would just be super cute.
So this is a 5 millimeter. The embossed hearts and arrows and stars, those are done on a 5 millimeter. They're just so you could see the depth when they shear the embossing into it.
So that's actually sheared versus embossed.
Right.
So
well, exactly. Yes.
Yes.
This is the ones on 5 millimeter are sheared.
Yes.
We call them embossed, but it looks like an emboss, but it's actually shaved down to the base.
Which is good. Which is a good thing. Then
well, the embossing will the effect will always stay the same.
Exactly.
So that's on the lower pile stuff.
Alice.
And as we get to the Luxe Cuddles, basically we start at 10 millimeters, which is like basically your Luxe Cuddle Velvet or any of the Luxe Cuddle prints, the regular prints like the pony and some of the other prints that we do, even the buffalo check.
Right.
All the prints, the cow, the jaguar, they're all done on a 10 millimeter. Some of the prints are just flat, as you see here. And then some of the prints.
So let's make a note of this as well. This is pony, and you can see that it's just a flat that has no embossing on it at all. It has a printing on it. But what I want to point out is this remains the #3 best-selling item in the Luxe line. This pony print, this colorway, which is natural, and it refuses to move from that position. The only two things on top of it are solids. So for our print that has lasted, what do you think this is? 10 years?
At least 10 years.
At least 10 years. And to have it still so strong, we added colors to it. The colors are doing well, but still this natural.
I guess there's a lot of cowboys out there.
I guess so, and cowgirls. And I tell you, I will say that when you pair this with black, it is the most stunning thing, which here is the black, and they just look so good together. and it just really pops the black that's in this. So this will be around for a long time to come.
And then we have the embossed, just the regular solid embossed pieces, like the hide, like the, you know, the Ziggy, like the Oxford, like
Wow,
the Mirage 80, which is also, it's a wider width, but it's in the same grayish with the 10 millimeter base cloth. And so again, it's another cool, exciting way of dazzling up the regular solid velvet and giving it a lot more character and a lot more luster and beauty.
And so this one is Hide Caviar, which is black, and it is the #1 Luxe in the line. And so people get disappointed hearing that it's just black caviar, but you know what? It's the bread and butter that we need to have. And #2, because I'm sure somebody's going to ask that soon, is Natural Hide. So Natural Hide and Black Hide are your 2 top selling items in our Luxe line. And then we go on to our ponies, and then there's a myriad of things after that.
And then this one is the Silver Fox, the Silver Fox Sterling. And this one is embossed and discharge printed. So that's how you could get all the variation of colors and underbelly tones and really pretty shades of gray. And of course, these products, some of them go through 5, 6, 7 different processes to look like this.
Right.
And so they're really, they just turn out beautiful. I think this Silver Fox is probably in the top 5.
Top 5, absolutely. Yeah. And you know, we talk about this kind of a lot, and we try to make sure that our expectations remain real about that. When they discharge these products, quite often the color doesn't match exactly with the last one you had and the last one before that, because it's an art form. It is not a science. The science only goes so far with it, and then there's all kinds of variables that make it be just slightly different than the last batch was. And so we have learned to accept that in our fabric world, and that is one of the products that kind of varies a little bit, but has stayed in the top 5 for probably the last 5 years.
Del Marie, these are all 10 millimeter. So these are all the lower pile Luxe Cuddles, the lowest pile Luxe Cuddles that we carry. So they're all on 10 millimeters. Now, of course, they vary sometimes 10 or 11 millimeters, you know, and yes, Valerie, sometimes they do get a little blue, a little purple, just because the processing that it goes through. We try our best to keep it as, you know, consistent as possible and for it to look as it's intended. But again, we deal with fabrics, and we're not doing, you know, something that's a lot easier to maintain and to really control.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, I would say it's semi-true for that, but more importantly, it is on the discharged merchandise. Items that are a dyed solid tend to be easier for us to match and consistently match, and we rarely stray too far off from that. It's the discharge products where they add color and remove it. There's a lot more moving parts to something like that. And if anybody's ever sat in on any of those sessions where we talk about that, you understand that there's so many things and that we do to these products, or not us, but the mill does to these products to get them to be as beautiful as they are, that there is always the chance of things just wobbling one way or the other. But we try not to let it get grossly out of whack.
Diane, Wild Rabbit is one of my favorites too. So we're twinning there. It's you know, of course, there's a lot of new stuff that has creeped up, and there's a lot of new loves. But Wild Rabbit is probably my favorite thing we've had, and I just love that product. And I have a couple of blankets at home. This one is Snowy Owl, so it's still 10 millimeters. So this is a discharge print as well with an emboss. So as you can see.
So this happens to be my favorite after my Vienna and after my Sydney. It's Snowy Owl Natural.
Snowy Owl.
I am a Snowy Owl snob, and I think that this is just beautiful. I think this looks up, and you know what? Also, I've kind of started doing rose water in Snowy Owl is my kind of go-to blanket for somebody who's not well. When they need something that it just lifts their heart a little bit, I choose Snowy Owl Rose Water because I feel like it's just got a little freshness about it. So Snowy Owl remains to be, we had a coat out of it at the show. Boy, was it pretty. It made me happy looking at that. I'm not even a big pink fan, but here I am promoting the pink. I'm having a commercial here.
Hello, Amy.
That fabric Snowy Owl is probably one of the best on camera too. So
is it?
If you're getting that Instagram picture, Snowy Owl
shows up really nice.
That's a winner. Speaking from the camera guy. So This is sometimes I think this is a bit of a sleeper fabric, but
Galaxy.
yeah, I do. I think Galaxy, we have a lot of colors in Galaxy, and they really go well. So when you're having troubles matching something or finding something to go with somebody, go to the Galaxies. Look for them. They are a tie-dye, and so they've got all this wonderful tone on tone in it. Sometimes there's, see the dark little chunks here or there, and then there's some light versions. It's never white.
It really allows you to get super creative with matching, and it pulls through some of the prettier colors in the quilt when you match this. So we'd use this a lot in the kits.
Yes, we do.
When we need to pull things together, pull two fabrics together, it does feel like hide. Yes, Galaxy is similar to hide. It's a 10 millimeter. It's beautiful, and this is the mallard, and it's one of the better selling colors.
Yeah, beyond the grays, it's probably top seller. So you just saw all the 10 millimeters, which is basically our bread and butter weight. It's a medium weight. All of those are great for hot sleepers. They're silky feeling. I have a sheet myself on my bed that I use out of hide. Well, it's actually at a Mirage 80 because I have a king size bed. And then we put a gusset around the outside edge so it fits the bed. I love what that feels like. I love slipping into the bed because it's very slippery in the feel. It's just wonderful. It's not hot year round. I use that sheet year round on the bed. Yes, I take it off and wash it. I always get teased about that. But love it. Love it. Love it. I agree, Lou. I think it does bring everything together. I think it's a wonderful thing.
So this is Frost, which is still in the lighter weight kind of Luxe Cuddles, but it's 15 millimeters. So now we're on to 15. And in the regular Luxe Cuddles that we've had for a while, Frost and Seal are the two 15 millimeter items that we carry. So this is the Frost, and it has, as you can see, it's got like an undertone. They all have like a shade behind which peeks through, and as you kind of hold it, you could kind of see the color coming through. And that's been a very popular item, and some of the colors are still really, really great sellers.
Yes, they are.
And very popular. And then this, of course, is Seal Caviar, 15 millimeters as well. Still on the lighter side. It's heavier than the regular Luxes.
Yes.
But it's not quite, super heavy. So it's really nice and beautiful.
Just under 60 colors in Seal now. So I really, the chocolate almond frost. She wants to know about chocolate almond frost.
Well, it's back in a way in Baby Seal.
In Baby Seal, they did it. They were willing to try it in Baby Seal, and honestly, the mill just feels as though it's too difficult for them to produce. That there's too much loss for them, and so we, over the years, have agreed finally to let it go. So but we do have it in Baby Seal. So look that up, Lark, on the website. You can see it. It's really pretty, and it's really doing nicely. It's selling very nicely.
So then this is Glacier, which is another 15 millimeters. So it uses the same grayish material or the base cloth of Frost. It's that same 15 millimeter, medium, or I should say lighter to medium weight kind of a pile. And it's also happens to be the same. It's beautiful. I love Glacier and Wild Rabbit, and they're made from the same cloth. It's just
totally.
One is solid embossed, the other one is printed embossed, discharge printed embossed. So that's Glacier. This is the Wild Rabbit, and the Wild Rabbit is exactly the same, but it just has a discharge printing on it as well as the embossing. Again, one of my favorites, and they're really, really, really beautiful. And it comes in a lot of colors.
A lot of colors. And honestly, all of those natural colors, from the lightest of the natural down to the darkest of the black, those all sell so well, and they go so well into other natural toned. So if you've got a blanket that needs something really different on the back of it, we use it a lot.
Yeah.
Even in our in the backs of quilts or our kits or strips in the kits, because they're such a great match for these natural things.
Right.
So,
and it also has multiple colors, so it's kind of like Galaxy, so it kind of pulls a lot of colors together as well.
So somebody from behind the scenes, can they try to find out what the pattern is for this wall hanging that's here, that somebody's asked about that?
This here?
Yes. So somebody can find it on the backside.
And then here is Sydney. So Sydney is also 15 millimeter. It's heavier, it's denser. And it's just marvelous. It's beautiful. For those of you who have bought Sydney, and yes, this is the cedar wood, Tracy. And it's just yummy, delicious goodness. We worked a long time.
18 months at least.
On maybe even more. We went, even before the pandemic, we started and we gave up, and then we went back to it.
Out.
We just wanted to duplicate our grooved mink from their acrylic line, and we just wanted to bring out something that was just going to knock everyone's socks off. And really, I think we landed.
It's my second favorite item in the line. I absolutely love the puffiness yet silky at the same time. They're both, it just equally has the right blend of all the perfection that I just love in a blanket. And then, of course, my second, or my very
number one first favorite.
Yes.
And probably your favorite color of it.
Yeah, I think so too, because the color is just so incredibly rich.
This is the Vienna Autumn, and this is also a 15 millimeter. It's similar in the quality, the base quality to Sydney, but it just goes through a couple of extra finishing and processing. And of course, it also has the printing. So as you can see, it gives multiple shades.
So you can see the dark lines.
So it doesn't look just flat. It's yes, Diane, Vienna is amazing.
And honestly, the view that you're seeing is a very, very, very good representation. That and black back to back. Oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous together. But as you can see, the difference, the variation of color in it. So
it just makes it beautiful.
We did some without that variation of color. They showed us some samples, and they were terrible. I couldn't believe.
I wouldn't say they were terrible.
Well,
it just wasn't as.
It
wasn't as rich as this.
Oh my goodness!
It's just this just is way rich.
Okay, terrible big word. But the product is so gorgeous, and if you've never felt or don't have anything in Vienna, you must get your hands on some Vienna. The silky factor on that is just so incredible.
And Sydney, I think, too.
And Sydney, a back-to-back blanket. That's what's going to be in my house, and I promised myself while I was at market because I petted those blankets so much.
And one of those jackets, right?
And the jacket, and the jacket is out of Savannah, which is a
Sydney ground.
Vienna ground. My fault. So beautiful.
This is the Mesa, and these now we're going to 20 millimeters, and so it's a 20 millimeter seal, and so also the wild chinchilla is in the same category.
Correct.
And basically these are just a little loftier seal, still the same nice, beautiful, soft feel, and this of course is discharged as well, so it's not just a solid, again, as I mentioned to you before, this was a remake of one of our furs as well that did really well in the line for years.
So I do want to point out that some people say that they think it feels softer than regular seal, and I truly believe the reason it does is that extra 5 millimeter of the pile that you're getting.
You feel more of the pile now.
Yes, and the pile's moving more under your hand, so that you do feel more of the motion, which makes it a softer feel. It's really, really lovely.
And then
we're getting there, Betty. We're getting there.
Where is that? Oh,
wants to know
Arctic rabbit.
Arctic rabbit. We're getting there.
So this is Arctic bunny. This is rabbit's little baby. And so this one is still 20 millimeter. And, just super soft, gorgeous, silky. This is not shipped yet. It's shipping from the factory, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. It'll be in-house by, middle of December sometime. And if you, I don't think they're on the website yet. They're going to be going up in the next week or so.
Yeah, I think so.
But keep an eye out for this. We're going to show you the colors that it comes in later. But it's just a pile of yummy goodness.
I have to tell you, this is the first time that I really had the opportunity to show it to a customer. And so when we were at the show, this was one that you brought out. Now it's a solid, and so people don't go crazy over a solid right away. And then they would reach out, and as they would touch the product, they go, oh, and everything had to stop for a moment while they collected themselves, because people just went crazy because it's so buttery. If marshmallow wasn't such a long word, we probably would have called it marshmallow, but it's so
drapey and just fluid and beautiful.
It's dense, but really lightweight.
Yeah.
Really lightweight feeling.
And it is a heavier
Arctic
piece,
bunny.
But it's what they do is they put it through this, what they call like a sodium process to reduce the weight, to make it even softer and silkier. And to make the hairs even finer than any of the other Luxes that we put out.
And a lot of people commented that Arctic, if they're in warmer climates, they were a little hesitant with the regular Arctic. But man, that Arctic bunny is perfect for that area.
Perfect.
And even look again, if we're in warmer climates, where do we generally use our cuddle blankets? We use them in rooms that are temperature controlled.
Right.
So
Right.
you know,
Truly.
maybe you can save some money on energy by having one of those heavier blankets, but they're still usable and delightful to use, even if you live in Southern California or Florida or somewhere warmer. I mean, my son lately, he's like, you know, every night when I put him to sleep, he's like, Dad, can you give me my cuddle blanket? You know, and so I give it to him. He doesn't put it over him. He just puts it next to him just so he could cuddle it and hold it.
Yeah,
but it's like become almost like an addiction for him to fall asleep with the cuddle blanket, which is kind of cool being in my house. But I'm a warm sleeper and I usually don't have blankets, but you know, I'll sit on the couch and there's a cuddle blanket there. I'll put it on me and I'm like, man, this feels good.
Feel good.
It feels good.
So Allison, yes, the Arctic bunny is shorter piled than the other Arctics, which are the rabbit, the fox, and the other names that we're going to show you here in a second. They are shorter. It's a 20 millimeter when the regular Arctic is 30. So, but the process is done the same way. They make it the same way.
So just to show,
there you go.
this is
there you go.
The difference between, well, maybe
We're getting there.
Bunny and rabbit. So you could see, and the color is not a good color, the light pink, but this is the bunny is 20 millimeters, and the next item we're going to show you is the Arctic rabbit, and that one is 30 millimeters, and it's heavier, you know, basically it's more dense and it's just more plush. It's got a little more pile length to it, you know, it's more, I don't know, it's almost like a fur meets Luxe Cuddle.
Yes.
And it's really, really lovely. We've done it in a couple of different qualities.
But one of the things, remember, first of all, I want to go back and address the sheet thickness that I prefer. I prefer 10 millimeter for sheets because our bodies do depress the pile on it. So I like it like a hide or a Mirage 80 where it's very flat already, the way that we emboss it, so that your body feels that slippery, really great feeling. That's my personal preference, and I'm sure.
They asked if there's a tutorial for the sheets.
Yes, I believe there is. I actually think there is. So we'll have to check into it. I don't know if I don't think it's in a free pattern, but Teresa said the other day, you know, honestly, it's made just like we do a crib sheet, which we do have a free pattern. It's just bigger. So you just do the math and figure out, you know, what your dimensions for yours. I also want to point out just really rapidly on this that a lot of times when the pile gets super thick like this, it gets difficult to sew, you know, because it's the backing so thick and the pile's thick and we just struggle like crazy. Look how easy this is for me just to push the fibers in and create a super flat, here, I'll get it in the right spot here. It's a super flat piece. This is very easy to sew. So just be very careful to get your pile pushed all the way in so that you're not trapping fibers in a bad way. And then once you sew it, and then you turn it right side out, beautiful. You still will have to kind of pull your fibers out just a smidge, but not really that much. And it looks super good, and it's easy to do. So it obviously all of our regular tips and tricks apply, but I don't want people to be intimidated by it because it's a 30 millimeter.
It's not a fur. It's way easier to work with than a fur.
Way easier.
Because A, it's softer, B, it's more, you know, just drapey, and it goes right through the machine a lot easier than the furs would. And they asked what fabric you use for your sheets. It's the Mirage, right?
Yes,
the Mirage
80. 80 and the hide or the 2. I mean, some people piece it down the center when it's a 60-inch wide on a wider sheet. I think it's fine to do that because nobody's typically sleeping in the middle of a queen or a king bed. And so I think that's fine. Somebody was also asking me, in fact, at the show about the number beds, you know, that how the sheets are really different for that. And she was going to go and look into it, but I think it just needs an elastic all the way around the numbered beds, you know, the sleep numbery kind of beds. And so I think that's different than just putting the elastic where it goes in the corners of it instead.
So Betty, no, fur is not a minky. It's acrylic, the faux furs that we used to carry. So now we don't carry any of those, and we're just on to the cuddles and the polyester. So the content is different. They're usually stiffer in the back. it's a little different characteristics. But what we've done, because we stopped carrying the furs, we wanted to give people some options to have in our line that really wanted the denser, heavier, nicer quality. I don't want to say nicer because they're all really nice, but just different quality than we had done in the past. So this one here is the Arctic Fox. And so as you can see, the beautiful heather, kind of like a two-tone look. I've heard that a lot of people, love this more than all the Arctics because it allows them that flexibility to use it with different products and back it with different things. So Jenny, the reason you need a tax ID to order from us is because we only sell to businesses and we don't sell retail. And I know that, obviously fabric.com, which was one of our largest customers, suddenly closed down a couple of weeks ago. And there's a lot of you have been on our pages telling us, why don't we sell retail and directly to you guys? Unfortunately, we're not set up to do that. But there are a lot of other amazing retailers out there that carry our product. And we're working on,
Store locator.
Yeah, and go on to Store Locator to find other people. But if you're looking for online sources, Cali Quilt, Missouri Star, those are two of Fat Quarter Shop, and there's one more.
Feather Your Nest.
Feather Your Nest, that carry a large selection of our products online.
And we have been working on the Store Locator. It's a pretty big maintenance project all the time. But we recently went in there and just did a lot of cleaning, and we're still working on it to make it easier and easier for you to be able to find things on there. And there's a lot of other customers. Please don't just limit it to those four, because there's many customers that sell online.
Yes.
Many. And everybody's aware of this fabric.com situation. And so people are really changing their mindset, because fabric.com mentally prevented a lot of retailers from carrying more product. And I think that this is going to change the game. I think we're going to see a whole new reality coming very, very soon. And so I think that, I understood Funky Monkey in Canada. She's carrying a lot of product. So trendy, absolutely. So, just keep
looking.
If you have other people that and you're buying from online, please keep posting that. I think that's a wonderful way to share information and share
I Love
favorites.
Cuddle page, or even on our page.
I agree.
Just let, again, if you have a great source, you have good experience with them, you share it in the group. There are people, coming to us asking us where we can buy it. And of course, look, we want to support our local stores. But if you're too far from a store, online is another option.
Obviously,
to check out our online retailer page.
Yes.
This is Arctic Chinchilla, and this is one of my favorites as well. I guess I've got a thing for chinchillas, right?
You
Wild
do.
chinchilla, Arctic chinchilla.
You do.
I'm the traditional fur guy. That's how we started. So I've got a soft spot for chinchillas, I guess.
Soft spot for it.
This is 30 millimeter again. All the Arctics other than the bunny were 30 millimeters. This is discharge printed, and it's because of the pile being 30 millimeters, it almost has this like rusticy kind of unperfect printing, because again, it's so hard to print. So you see little variations of color and little characteristics. These are not damages or flaws. This is actually just the way the fabric prints. And I think it makes it look more realistic.
It has a lot of character.
Yes, it makes it really realistic. This is fig.
This is my favorite color in this, because it doesn't show perfectly on the screen, but I will say that there's a little tiny, teeny piece of plumminess underneath there. It's not just pure gray.
Yeah, it is. It is a purpley undertone.
Yeah, but I hate to use the word purple.
Well,
like it has that
lavendery kind of.
Yes, it has a plummish underbelly to it, and I think it's
hard.
Just
the camera's not picking it up.
Gorgeous. And so I do love that particular one, and I'm very fond of it. So
after
one of the
you
newest
sandwich cuddle together, how do you sew it to look like a border around it? Just using what you just sewed together.
So once you've sewed it together and turned it right side out, then a lot of people stitch about 2.5 inches approximately away from that outside edge. And I think the easiest way is just take either a tape or something and put it on your machine at that 2.5 inch mark that you want to keep it at, and then you just top stitch around. However, it requires a lot of pinning, when you do that because it wants to creep as it goes around. So sometimes I go half of the blanket, do an L, and then go back and reverse it and do the L the other way. So it doesn't just keep creeping all the way around the blanket. You've stitched down, and then you go back and stitch down towards it again. And then you'll have a little more success. Pin, 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 pin. I cannot emphasize that enough. And your walking foot is super necessary to keep it from creeping.
Slippery,
yeah,
right?
It will. And it likes to creep on itself. So
Suzanne, the heaviest fabric,
fabric
we have is the sable right now. And that, unfortunately, it's being discontinued because we brought out all this other Arctics. And, sable's a beautiful product. I love it. It's just,
it's heavy.
It's a little heavier. It's a little harder to sew than Arctic is.
Yeah, it is because of the denseness of it. A lot of folks were having troubles getting it sewn with needles and things. And so we just felt that maybe it was better to let that product go because of this new product that's come out and made it so much easier. And I think the warmth is still going to be the same.
So this is the Arctic owl. And as you can see, all the owly underbelly goodness.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's really beautiful. This is not here yet. It's on its way.
It's on the water.
And so it should be here in the next week or two. And so for those of you who have ordered it, or wholesale customers, you'll have it soon. And then for those of you who are, retail and look for it at our retailers, you should be able to get them here in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
So can you bring the piece of fox back? This is one of the things that I wanted to do. We were going to compare a lot of these lengths of piles so you can just see them. So when we first brought out Arctic rabbit and then fox, let's lay it completely flat. Everybody kept saying, oh, is it like shag?
Frosted shag.
Yes. So as you can see, I don't know how easily you can tell that the piles
I think maybe we do it like this and kind of hold it.
You can see that, gosh, there's no comparison to what a shag and what the Arctic feels like. There's just no comparison. The poor little shag.
Well, shag is just flowy and lighter and just,
kind of lazy. I want to call it.
Well, I wouldn't say lazy, but this is just full. The fox and the Arctics are just fuller and denser, and obviously, hence the difference in the pricing because they're just weighs a lot more. But you can kind of tell how this is kind of floopy and how the product separates. Also, the backing's very different. I just don't want people to think that there's only a little difference between these two products. There's a vast difference. There's a cavern between these two. And this is also the longest pile. It's not 30, it's more like 40 millimeters or 45 millimeters. And so it is a little different. It has a different characteristic and a behavior than the fox does or the Arctic rabbit does.
Correct. And so, but again, that was a huge question at the very beginning, and I wanted to be sure that we addressed it.
And you could see how flowy and kind of like, drapey this is just because of the lightness of the pile. It's got a long pile, but it also has a light weight compared to the pile.
And kids love that product.
Yes,
they just
beautiful.
love that product. And so, it is a little less expensive, so you can have.
All right.
Okay. So here we go.
Here we go with Tuscany. So Tuscany is a new product that is it's on water.
Yes.
On its way to us.
Yes.
Should be here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I should say. And it's beautiful embossing, real super soft, similar in feel to, I would say, somewhere between. What would you say? Maybe a glacier and a Sydney kind of meet
where
each
I'm
other?
going. Yeah, right. I think so.
But
it's got
denser,
a silky. It's got a silky
heavier
and denser feel, but it's I don't know. I really like it. It's really grown on me.
It's similar in characteristic to like Sydney, but it's not as dense as Sydney. It's a little bit lighter. But it's definitely somewhere between, it's like a glacier that's almost like Sydney weight.
Yes.
But it's super soft, super silky, super amazing, 15 millimeters. And this color is emerald.
So in terms of the texture of it, though, you're going to be more inclined to be like the glacier. So because it's got a lot of texture to this particular one.
Yes, the texture is similar to glacier, but it's not as linear as glacier is.
Correct.
It's more random. As you could see.
Gosh, that green is so pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Great Christmas blanket for sure, but it's just really pretty.
Emerald is one of my favorite colors these days, and these luxes, they're so rich. And then we've got, this is spearmint.
Yes, that's spearmint.
Right? So
we have only
we didn't have
we have a
big
baby
piece,
sample of this one.
So it's hard to see.
But spearmint is a color that matches lots of things, and it goes really nicely with spruce. So if you're ever trying to kind of bring your greens together, and we've created a new color that's kind of going in between these two, in between spearmint and which you'll see soon. It's down here. So
and then this is jeans.
So jeans is a boy. It looks dark on the
Yeah.
screen, really dark, and it's probably
There we go. That's better.
That's better. It looks
Still
a little
not-
bluish on there, but I think it's a really, really strong denim color.
Yes.
I think it's really a nice color.
And of course, the sheen and the texture changes and bounces off the light.
But yeah,
but that's pretty accurate right there.
Well, I think it looks more sheenish than it does in real life, though.
Yes, the light does bounce off the texture a little more than it does in real life. And then here is ink,
which of course is just darker than navy. Is all. We just wanted a color that was really deep, deep, deep dark navy, and we've gotten a lot of comments from customers about loving the new ink colors.
And then we've
berry.
got berry.
So we've had plum wine. We've been doing a lot of plum wines, and this one has a little bit more blue in it, and it's a little darker than plum wine. It's just a little.
So Jennifer, it does have a sheen. They all have a sheen. This does have a little extra sheen, but it's not as shiny as it appears on the screen.
Yes, really pretty.
And then rose water.
Nope,
or actually, sorry, smoky rose.
Smoky rose. And you know, we've told you this before, and I just want to emphasize again that a lot of times when you see a color like this and you say, oh, that has to be rose water, and we call it something else, it's because the color did not align properly. They missed the mark just ever so slightly. And so rather than calling it rose water and misleading you, we called it smoky rose, and we'll keep producing the smoky rose along the way. Just keep matching this.
And so this fabric, I saw a comment earlier, I forget who it was. When can we order them? They're going to be on the website hopefully in the next day or two.
Right.
So you guys can start placing your pre-orders for those that want to get in on this. And so
the technical difficulty is why they're not on today. So sorry about that.
We're doing something special with that. So when you log in, you'll see on the Tuscany and the Florence both.
Okay. So this is a new color called Desert Rose. I saw online last night that somebody was asking, or two somebodies were asking, where are we going to come out with more Desert Rose? Because it's such a hot color right now. And there are, this is where another Desert Rose is coming out. So we have it in Vienna, a new color of Vienna, and we have it there. It's and then you see cedar wood, and we see both of those together. The Desert Rose is a little pinker than the cedar wood is a little browner, but we call those kind of the lipstick colors because they kind of have that a little bit of brown undertone. It's very, very popular in babies and baby nurseries and just for kids stuff. There's a lot of we're coming out with some new prints that those colors will go with too for baby rooms.
Jennifer, the pile on these are 15 millimeters, but they're a denser 15 millimeter than the regular like seal or even frost. They're a little bit heavier.
Okay, and so this is where we were asked to bring out more colors of autumn. And so this is the autumn that we showed you earlier and in the Vienna.
Right.
And so we came out with it in this. And so it's this richy, gosh, the rusty tone. Oh, it's so pretty. I just think it's such a nice shade. And so there you go. You can see how well we can do sometimes with colors like that. I think that's a pretty incredible match for those two. They could even go together if that was your desire.
And then of course, ivory.
Yeah.
Ivory is, still one of our best-selling colors. Snow, ivory, black.
Yeah, we do a lot of natural in things, but this one we decided to do snow. And then if we do snow, we typically skip over natural because it kind of doesn't make sense to have those shades so close and go to ivory. So you haven't seen us do ivory in a little bit. So I'm kind of excited to see an ivory back in the system again. So I love ivory myself. I think ivory and any color practically goes with it.
And then this is snow.
Which we haven't done much snow of late either. And this one, boy, it's snowy. It's good. It's really good. For us, snow, when you want a pure white. So for us, snow is the whitest white. And then we have one item called white, and that's our C3, which we showed you at the very, very onset. And that's a little bit not as white as snow is. And then the next would be natural. So I love natural because I think natural is such a great color because it just kind of leans itself either way. That's my snow tutorial.
And then Bumblebee.
That's a new color. So it's kind of like a light mango. It doesn't go all the way to the yellowiness of mango, but it's just it's a really happy color. And we called it Bumblebee because we thought that was kind of cute. And then a good traditional scarlet. Really good scarlet. Just scarlet is your Christmas red. There is a darker called cardinal, but scarlet is kind of just a really true solid red. It's got the right amount of blue and the right amount of pink in it to create that just right red. Correct red.
Black.
Which will be the number one, as I always say, the number one seller.
Yeah, always.
Always.
And I think graphite, right?
No, I think this is alloy.
Alloy, sorry.
Yeah, we like alloy. Graphite's got a little bit more brown in it. This one has a little bit more blue in it. And so, there's so many shades of gray because gray takes on everything from a green tone to a brown tone to a blue tone. And so it creates, but it doesn't matter what gray we put in, it's usually at the top selling. I love alloy too, Amy.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Luxe Cuddle Bunny.
Bunny.
And we're going to start with snow. So the snow bunny, I mean, this would be great for any Christmas stuff.
Yeah, anything snowy.
White, snowy. It's such a flexible, beautiful fabric. And
little beards on little Santa-y things or on gnome things and all that for the smaller ones. So. And
then we have natural. So we decided to go with natural here just to change it up a little bit. And again, we do use natural more than ivory these days in our line.
It has less yellow in it.
It's a little, less yellow.
Yeah.
And then we have rose water.
Yep. It must have rose water. Ooh, look how good that photographed that time. Nice, Jeremy. Oh, it's really good.
You're dreaming of a white Christmas. Yes, Deb. We're not going to have a white Christmas, but you will. I think you're in a better climate for that. We'll have to travel for that. This one is Misty Mauve.
So Misty Mauve is a color we've added a little bit lately because it goes so well with berry.
So these are Luxe Cuddle Bunny. So it's, again, the 20 millimeter Arctic Bunny. It's the 20 millimeter version. I mean, you can see how this fabric just folds into basically nothing because it's just so fluffy and even if I fold it, that big old piece is now really just tiny because it's just so fluffy and beautiful. It is heavenly, Stacy. This is hands down the softest fabric we've ever produced.
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes, absolutely.
We've never made anything softer than this. So if you're in love with soft, cuddly things, here it is. Here it is.
And everybody has a moment after they touch it for the first time where they're, oh my goodness, and they just keep saying it.
And these are not shipped yet. They'll be on water in the next couple of weeks, so we should have them shipping to people by the end of the year, hopefully. Before the end of the year, most likely. This one is ink again.
This is really good looking.
Pretty.
Yeah,
they're all really pretty.
Yeah, they are all pretty. But sometimes something just stands out as a really extra pretty, and for whatever reason, that navy is really, really nice.
And then Simply Taupe.
You know what, Jennifer? This would be great for hats and little infinity scarves. This would be really great for infinity scarves.
My hand kind of you can't see my nails. It just kind of sinks right into the pile.
Yeah.
Yes, we need Arctic in our life to Arctic Bunny. This is black.
I mean, that's just such a universal piece that you could just use so many places.
Yes, it's
gonna make the cutest penguins, stuffed penguins, and things like
that.
Oh boy,
yeah, stuffed animals would be great with this.
Really great out of this.
Espresso.
So espresso is just a darker than chocolate. So it's kind of
a wonderful scarf.
I cannot believe how good the scarf is going to be out of this. And so if you just add a little bit extra of extra chocolate in there, it's a dark chocolate instead of a regular chocolate. So that's espresso. Love it.
And then this one is berry.
It's kind of a scrawny little piece there, but it's really pretty. Really pretty. Nice. Look how good it looks with the graphite, I think. I think that's graphite.
And yes, this is graphite.
I just can't get over. Every time I touch it, I get a little
Bonnie
stunned.
says it's another blanket my pets will steal
Oh,
from
there
me.
is no doubt.
Pets, kids, anyone who comes to visit, yes,
There is no doubt.
They will claim this one
The
for
pets
sure.
are going to go crazy over this product. Crazy.
And then we've got Cardinal.
Remember we just talked about, see, it's a little, well, no, it's a little loud. It's a little loud.
There it is.
There we go. So it's a little less bright. Scarlet's a little brighter and Cardinal's a little bit darker. So I love both of those colors. I think they're both really, really good.
They
really
all
good.
have a little sheen to them. They're not shiny.
No.
Clovis, they're not shiny. They just have a little sheen to it. On camera, it just shows a little more shine just because of the reflection of the light. But yes, Diane, it's called Luxe Cuddle Arctic Bunny. They're not on the site yet either. They should be up soon.
Yes, we're not going to have navy. We're having ink in the bunny instead. We don't usually put both ink and navy unless it's a really big line like hide.
Yes, Amy, it's an amazing product. And this color is Aqua Sea.
We're just going to pause for just 1 second. They're going to be able to see you and hear you.
Oh,
right.
Then yes, silky. I would easily call this silky. It's just bunny soft with a silky cast to it. I really love what it feels like. I'm very impressed with this piece of goods. Very impressed.
We went over our time, and so the battery gave out. So Jeremy's got to change the battery on the camera and switch cameras. But here we are. We're about to go back. It's very fluffy and light, but it is.
Yeah, maybe lighter. I think it's even lighter.
Really?
Yeah, it says, you're asking if it feels like Mesa. Mesa's denser than what this feels like. This is light.
Fluffy and flowy.
Yes, it's so hard because it just looks like a solid. It is a TV touch. We need TV touch because there is. I
bet you they're working on that right now.
I hope they are because we need it more than any other industry, honestly. There's just something about it that is so just extra. I love it.
You're welcome, Jennifer. You're welcome.
I wish
this is
somebody else could help me.
The purpose of these lives is to educate and show you guys the beauty of our products. And look, we believe that our product is magical and it delivers comfort, joy, and happiness into the homes that it goes into, or into hospital rooms that it goes into, and into anywhere it goes into.
Yeah.
And honestly, in today's crazy, uncertain world, there is more need for the comfort, joy, and happiness that these type of products bring. And so we're delighted to have so many great products to share with you guys and release to you guys and bring out.
And to talk about them, because honestly, who knows this product better than we do?
Right.
We created them. With the mills, a tremendous amount of help, and we just want to be able to share with you.
I dream about Cuddle every night.
I can dream about it too. Okay, so this is a new shade of green.
Lily Pad is what it's called.
So what we needed was something that would go with the spearmint, because it has a little bit of blue undertone to it. So we tucked in this lily pad color. I just think it is so pretty. It's going to also go with spruce on the other side of the dark side of it. And so it'll be spruce, lily pad, and then spearmint. So,
Laura, you should open a business. A lot of people have started businesses and are doing quite well. I mean, honestly, that's probably one of the biggest blessings that we're able to provide people, is that people that start a business out of their house and now have a pretty nice, decent sized business, and it provides them that an extra income and a great income in some cases.
In some cases where
they get to do it from home.
Their spouse joins them
and family members and all. But yeah, maybe you should think about opening a store or opening a business.
Yes, Melissa, isn't it great? It's so good. It's so good. I just love this new color. There's 2 new colors that we're showing you today, that along with some of the other ones that there haven't been as many shades of in the past. But these 2, we saved them for last because I really wanted you to see these last 2. And this last one
is called Dark Sea. That's also a newer color?
Yeah, it's brand new. It came in Enzo, is where we showed you first, which is a Milan. And so we said, wait a minute, that color is so pretty. We need to make that a solid. So right now you're saying, ooh, is that what Bayou is? No, Bayou's greener than this is. This is bluer undertone, but the rich depth of this color is so pretty.
Can you pull the comments down a little bit, Jeremy, just on that? Yeah, so if you guys are looking for finished products, that's good. There's a lot of people that make blankets and sell them. there is So Sweet, Aspen Grove, Simply Minky, Minky Addicts. There's so many Minky Mamas. There's so many of them out there. And you could just search on Facebook for cuddle blankets or Minky blankets, and they'll all pop up. And honestly, they are wonderful, wonderful products that they create. Not just blankets; they do all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
Handmade Heifer is another one.
Yes, and they're on Facebook Live. So typically, most of them, not all of them, but they're on Facebook. So that's a place to go look for them and query about Minky and see what pops up. But there's lots and lots, and there's lots of small makers on.
And also
on
in Canada,
yes, there are.
Country Stitch. So there's a lot of amazing customers, and Posh is another one. I mean, there's so many of them. Maybe you know what? We should talk about maybe adding like a link on our website for people who just are looking for a finished product, where they can find our finished product to support our wonderful manufacturing customers, because honestly, they do an amazing job. They're a big part of our business. We're truly grateful for them for spreading this goodness to you guys. And, and of course, Minky Corner, of course. That's another one. Lisa and Amy. Love them. I've been doing
by Margio. I agree.
So many of you guys.
Keep on listing them as you know them, because I know there are lots of you there. I know there's a lot of small makers too. Yes, Naked Minky is another really good one. There's just so many that
we need to highlight these people and maybe send like an e-blast to our consumers if they're looking for finished products. Because really, I mean, there's so many wonderful people doing this business, and some of them we've known for, my God, over like 15 years, like Lisa from Minky Corner. She has a fabric store. We've been selling her fabrics for a long time. But
yes, candies. Oh, yes, of course, Cloud9. See, there's just so many. Minky Divine, Minky
Holics. Yes.
Gosh, there's just so many. I think it is a really swell idea, because we're just going off the cuff here, so we don't want to forget anybody. But at the same time,
we love all of our customers.
It's so hard to remember, and we try not to express favoritism in this, because we really want everybody to have equal time.
And everyone's got their flavor, and everyone's got the way they do things, and there is a lot of big characters on these shows, and so there is definitely a plethora of choices out there to find finished products made out of Shannon fabrics. And look, we enjoy doing what we do, the way we do it, with the people we get to do it with, and I appreciate you guys coming on today to watch this show. It was an exciting show. We are not going to be here next week. We're going to take a little break, but we will be back in 2 weeks. So that will be on the 17th.
Right.
And
can you believe it's November 17th?
And it's the third Thursday, so we're doing Cuddle Corner on the 17th. We'll be doing Cuddle Connection. We'll be doing another product preview on the 24th. But we appreciate you guys coming on and learning about our products and learning about us. And also, if you don't do already, just follow our Facebook page. Make sure you watch Teresa's Sew Together Tuesday. Teresa and Hawk, they're amazing. They do a wonderful job of teaching people how to use our products in a more effective way, because there is a little bit of a learning curve, right? As you start with this product, if you're fairly new. And also tune in every Thursday, except for next week, we either show you a product preview or share with you some of our Cuddle Connection and show a little more about our company and what we do and how we do it. And it's really exciting to do this. And I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you, Jody. Happy Thanksgiving to you, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. I'm sure we'll see you before then.
We will.
On the
Hopefully
17th.
You'll be with us. Oh, we need to do our blanket drawing.
Yes, so we've got a drawing that we need to do.
Patty Gigi and Anna B. Please email info@Shannon Fabrics. You are the winners today. Patty Gigi and Anna B.
So, is it Ann B?
Ann B
and Patty Gigi. Are you guys there? So you'll have a nice gift, a little cuddle blanket to deal with this colder weather coming around. And I don't see, there it is, Ann Bliss. Yes, you're here. And then Patty Gigi. I haven't seen her pop up in a little while, but I'm sure she's there.
I don't think we're going to end up doing a pause print, but look for a pause prism in those colors that you're asking for, because we are doing some new prisms in pause. So right now we only have the vibrant, and we've added about 5 new ones in different colors, one of which is a natural color, which is
pretty.
really nice. It'll be really nice for home decor for your, with the pause printed, if you're familiar with what I'm talking about.
So Ann Bliss or Ann B, congratulations. Patty Gigi, we haven't seen you come on, but congratulations to you. So just go ahead and email info@Shannon Fabrics and let them know you were on the live today and you want a cuddle blanket, and they'll go ahead and send you a wonderful cuddle blanket to enjoy. I guess until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Thanks for being here. We always appreciate each and every one of you for showing up and listening to us.
God bless. And we're super grateful to have you all with us.
And for your loyalty to us every single day. We just really appreciate it. Thank you so much.